Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Decided to have an early morning ride. Been out since about 6:30 because by about 10:30 it'll be unbearable again. At the moment in Bulgaria the weather is horrendous, absolutely horrendous. We're having temperatures of 40 plus degrees every single day. I think it was yesterday I had a look. It's 42. It's can't breathe, can't do anything, can't work. Can't even get in the workshop at the minute. It's that hot. I'm infested with wasps. I think they're just trying to get out of the heat, to be honest. Must be some reason. The workshop's full of them everywhere. Anyway, I had a guy send me a message. He was thinking about buying a 411. He hasn't had a bike for quite a while. A few of the questions, he just wanted my thoughts on them, which is a bit of a general question to ask, really. I sort of started off with, oh yeah, they're quite a good bike. I says, what made you think of buying one? Because you like the look of it, you like the price of it. I don't know whether he's going to buy a new one or a second-hand one. He also said he's not a person that swaps his bike. What he buys, he says, I'll probably be keeping it years. The other question was the availability of spare parts in the future. I said, well, that's fair enough. Like I said, I can't really answer the parts thing because I don't really know. But if you look at the bullet range, the original bullets, the 500s, I said you can get anything and everything from India. I said I nearly buy most of my spares now from India because you find if you use the main dealer, we've got one main dealer in the UK and they're the same as any main dealer. Don't have it in stock, we'll get it for you, and they're not too bad. They can order stuff and I get it within a week, 2 weeks. But 2 weeks I can get whatever I want for a fraction of the price, direct from India, genuine spares. So I says I wouldn't worry too much about the spares side of it. He asked me about reliability because he'd read on the forums and things you do, like we all do. If we're thinking of buying something, we spend hours and hours and hours scanning the internet and YouTube for reviews and all this sort of thing, like. And he was on about YouTube reviews, a blunt review, an honest review. I said to him, I says, look, I says, don't always believe what you see on there. The best ones you can find is somebody who actually owns it themselves and has had it for a year, 18 months, 2 years. Because most reviewers, they borrow the bike from somewhere or they'll be asked to do a review on it, or they're only going to give a positive review or scoot round the faults the bikes have. Also, they'd never get asked again, will they? No, nobody's going to keep giving you bikes if you keep slating it, or a shop's not going to let you keep using their bikes for reviews if you become back in the fucking crap this, innit? And he says, oh, that's actually why I sent you a message. He says, I know you own one and you've done a lot of work and I've been watching your channel. I says, well, I find it pretty good. I says, you modify it to yourself. I says, it's not the most powerfulest thing. Put a cam in it, makes a difference. It all depends what you want to do. You take it, you're not exactly a desert racer, are you? You know, you're not going to be expecting a bike that you can go across Morocco or something, sitting doing 110 kilometres an hour stood up over the rough ground. I says, if you're a normal guy, yes, it'll travel across Morocco and it'll travel all the way back again. So it's good on fuel, you just take your time with it. I says, I've altered the suspension on mine, can't complain really. I would say go for it. He asked me about the 450, don't really know too much about it, only what I've read and seen, the sort of thing. And then he asked me a question which has made me actually do this video. He says, I wonder why Royal Enfield has stopped making it. I says, I don't know really. But after we finished talking, I was thinking about that. I've been thinking about it a couple of days now. I wonder why they have stopped making it. I know we've got emission laws and all this lark, and everybody's got to move on. When this bike come out, people bought it. Well, I think when this bike come out, I did read that the Japanese manufacturers was sat there with tears rolling down their faces when they saw the Himalayan 400 come out, 411. Like, who the hell is going to buy this? Nobody's going to buy this. We're not worried about this at all. But nobody had anything as competition for this. Nobody built a bike for this price, and it just flew out. It was that successful that there's a waiting list for them. So that sort of took the smile off the faces a bit, I think. They've done away with this. I don't know. All I can imagine is there was a lot of complaints or wishes that it had more power. To me, they should have kept the format they got. Keep the price right. Nowadays there's a big market for the 450s range, 400, 450s. But me, I'm not really interested in £6,500–7,000 for a 450 that has TFT and 4 or 5 rider modes and a sat nav built in that just burns the battery out on your phone in no time. Why? Me, I like this basic, and this is what I was telling that guy. I says, you can fix this on the side of the road if you have to. You can get something to fix it from anywhere. You can MacGyver, bodge up something just to keep it going. Where if you've got all electronics, you're going to be stood on the side of the road thinking, you know, something wrong with this. The lights are flashing, engines died. Nothing you can do, nothing you can do. So this is why my channel's called Old School ADV, isn't it? But it also got me thinking that yes, Royal Enfield have dropped the ball here, really have. And what made me think about that was Suzuki 1990, I think it was. I might be wrong, you could correct me if I'm wrong. DR, it wasn't a 650 then, I think it might have been a 600, DR 600, the early ones. Then it's made it up to 650. I don't know what year that was, maybe 92 or something like that. That's been running up till now. And then I still think, I should have done my homework on this, shouldn't I? I still think you can buy a brand new one. So how many years is that? 1990, 2000, 2010, 2020, 30 odd year that bike's been in production. Still ultra popular. Got fantastic suspension. It's got a basic air-cooled engine. I think it's got even less on here than what this has. It's just got a basic clock. People love it. Australia, what have they got the nickname for it, haven't they? Is it the pig or something? Something like that? Can't remember, yeah, something like that I've seen on it. They travel all the way across Australia on it. Now it's a mega rock country. Bike doesn't seem to have any problems. Run it up to the top of the tank in water. You do anything with it. If the carb gets fuel problems, you got water in your fuel or anything, strip it out. Just kept it basic. They've not really updated it. Fantastic bike. Always sells, and it's not cheap anymore. So I did think about it. There's two things put me off it a little bit. Was the price, because it's getting quite expensive, but it's one of them bikes, if you want it, you got to pay for it. Other thing was the height of the seat and suspension. It's an off-road bike, so it's trail bike. People do kit them out, but it wasn't really a lot different to what the Himalayan is, really, is it? Now Suzuki used the brains here, good seller, sales don't drop off really. They did update and made the DRZ 400, which was water cooled, which was better for the emission laws and things. They sold shed loads of those. It was kept a basic bike, water cooled. So why didn't Royal Enfield do the 411 like that? Why didn't they just put the water-cooled engine in this if they had to? If it's the emission laws that's making them struggle, why didn't they do a water-cooled engine in this exact model? Keeping to their format, which at the time when all the Japanese thought, Christ, look how many bikes Royal Enfield's selling, we need some of this. And they've all brought their own out now. Instead they brought the 450 out, they've upped the price to what? Is it getting on to close £7,000 for a 450? And it ain't that brilliant, to be honest. Depends what you want, doesn't it? Yes, it's got the power we wanted in this one, but I don't know, it vibrates. I ain't got no vibration on this. I mean, look in my mirrors, clear as a bell. Mint. This has got basic suspension. I know I've just put the YSS shock in the back. It's a cheap replacement for the stock, which works very, very good. The front suspension, I've only changed the oil. I've not had to do anything, so I'm happy enough with this, what this bike does. Great. But I can fix this anywhere. That's the thing. I don't know where it'll be with the new 450. But that's my thoughts on it. Why didn't they just keep this as it is? I think England at the moment you can buy what's left of the new ones for very cheap prices. I think their idea is the dealers and everybody's frightened they're going to be stuck with these in the showroom, can't sell them because everybody's going to be wanting to buy the new 450. Well, let me tell you, they're not everybody, because the 450 has got a lot of competition. CF Moto MT 450 seems to be the king of the 450 range at the minute. You've got your KTMs and everything else. You've got the Triumphs, if you like, the Scrambler and what have you. And the prices are either cheaper, people's coming in cheaper than the 450. So I don't think the 450 is going to fly out of the showroom like they think it's going to. I had my own bike business in the UK. Now to me, if you could afford it, I'd have bought every single new 411 that was going. If you could afford to sit on them, just give them another year, give it another 6 months a year, hang on to them, then put the brand new ones in your showroom at a half reasonable price. You would just, they'd fly off the shelf, there wouldn't be any left. I would also, the English lads have got a thing. I'm not saying all English people's like this. I'm English. I know it was. I did thousands and thousands of miles on a bike. But if you look at a lot of the bikes, the English thing is they buy something like this, they ride it down to the local coffee place on a Sunday morning, a bit of a ride round and back home. You could have a year-old bikes that's barely running. There's quite a lot. And the English don't always have one bike, they have a garage full of bikes. So that bike's not the only one they ride in, so it just doesn't get the miles on it. Buy those, go through and clean them up. You know, if it wasn't in Bulgaria, this would be a good business thing to do, wouldn't it? I'd be buying all 411s up, stripping them, rebuilding them, reconditioning, just make a business out of Royal Enfield stuff. Anyway, losing what I'm talking about here now. So, the future of the 411. I think the 411 has got a future. It's a bike that's not going to go away. I think it's a bike that's always going to be about. I was a lot surprised that people enjoy riding the 411. It's low power. You know, people have. Is it just the older people like me? No, I can't say I would see any young lads on them, because when you're young you want power, you want speed. 40 years onwards, if you've not had a bike for a long time and you come back to buying something, you don't want to spend a lot of money, you've got to keep the wife happy, haven't you? And you've all got bills to pay. It's a good bike to buy. You can look at this. Why buy? Well, I did it myself. I just bought my Interceptor I was looking at a Triumph T100. It was older. It had done 50,000 kilometres more than my 5,000 Interceptor I just bought. Hands down, unless you absolutely wanted the Triumph and you're a Triumph fanatic, the Interceptor was a better deal. So why would you buy the Honda XLV 600, 650, 700 that's going to be, say, 50,000 miles on the clock for more money than you can buy a year old one of these? I think that's how a lot of people are looking at it. Plus, money's getting tight nowadays. Take your bike to the shop, it's like £100, €100, just open the shop door, isn't it? A ridiculous price, even for basic oil and filters and stuff. It's absolutely horrendous nowadays. People ain't got that sort of money to chuck about. Himalayan, you only need a few spanners, you do the basic servicing yourself. So I don't think this is going to go away, this. The forums are absolutely full of anybody struggling with anything. You can go on the forums. I mean, look at my YouTube channel. You want to know any servicing, how to adjust anything, how to fix anything, even how to fit a cam or anything, look at my YouTube channel. I'll show you how to do it. And lads are doing it. Saving him a fortune. So, the future to me of the Himalayan 411 looks bright. Very good, actually. I don't think these are going to be sat in Europe in shops for that long. People will always come along and buy them. You know, there's always the people who they've got to have the latest, got to have TFTs and rider modes and something to plug the toaster into every day. You know, there's always going to be that sort of rider. People who want more power, always going to be that sort of rider. But there's also always going to be guys that's 40, maybe 45, who come back to biking, or are like me, you're getting bad joints, you want to downsize, something that's a bit lighter, easy to ride, comfortable. They're always going to be there, aren't they? They're there till they drop dead, to be honest. You know, there's lots of guys talk to me on the internet, they're my age, 65, 70. No, they don't want a GS 1250 or GS 1300 or whatever the latest BMW is like. So there's always a market for this. And the older guys, even if you've never been a motorcycle mechanic, so you've been a car mechanic, or you do your own, worked on your own cars at home, which is a lot of the older guys, because cars have got the same problem, haven't they? You know, it's all electronics nowadays. Who used to work on the cars, is that the word I'm looking for? This will be the thing they look at. And possibly, I'd say the Suzuki DR650s. But you try and buy one, I can't buy one in Bulgaria. Like, rocking all scrap. Just can't get them. Especially a good one. So, to me, future of the 411 looks bright. Future of the 450, we'll wait and see. Not my cup of tea, really. I mean, like I say, look in the mirror. There ain't a single bit of vibration on this bike. It is beautiful, comfortable, lovely, not fast, relaxing. Where I ride here, look, country roads, can't fault it. I go in the mountains a lot. I am taking this into Romania this year, which is the long journeys. If you can just get it in your head, which I still struggle a little bit with, that I can do without the speed. I do admit it gets a little bit tedious on long roads. I think it's when you're knackered and you want to get home, that's when it seems a bit tedious. The journey out is always good, the journey home is always tedious. That's my thoughts on it. Anyway, just a bit of a ramble for you, but I don't think the 411's finished. I think the 411's definitely got a future, so keep buying them, keep watching my channel, because that shows you how to fix them. Then you can't go wrong really, guys, can you? So please subscribe to the channel, it does help me to keep going. Big thumbs up. Any comments, you know, I always read them, every single one. We answer every single comment, and as normal, which I'm quite busy with nowadays, if you ever need any advice or you've got a problem with your Royal Enfield, if I can help, I will. It is getting a bit busy on that for me. Sometimes I can spend all night answering people's questions or how to do something, but well, that's life, isn't it? You know, I'm an old geezer now. Don't smoke, don't drink, don't go out unless I'm on my bike. I've got nothing else to do. Anyway, see you in the next video. I think the next videos are going to be possibly about the Interceptor. I've got to make my mind up what I want it to look like, what I want to do with it, and I've got some things in mind I'm going to have to change, but that's another story, isn't it? So see you again then. Cheers.